You're listening to Hannah's Bookshelf here on North Manchester FM, and it's a pick and mix show today, so there is a little bit of everything. You've just heard me reviewing The Plot by Nadine Dorries, so there really is a little bit of everything on today's show. That is my only review by me on today's show, but I think, it was quite a biggie. So it's time for me to hand over the reins. It's time for me to hand over three old friends of the show. It so happens this week. Two of whom have contributed to What Are You Reading Before? One of whom I think this might be the first or second time. Anyway, I'm delighted to have all of them on the show, talking about a really, really, really eclectic range of books. So I am going to... What Are You Reading, by the way, is, if you haven't heard it before, is the bit of the show where I gather writers together and ask them that question. What are you reading? So you get little insight into writers' reading habits, but you also get little mini reviews and recommendations. And I always cast the net really wide. So not only do we get an eclectic range of writers coming on the show, we also get a really eclectic range of books. And the writers this week, I think it's 3 books. They're going to be talking about one each. And they are a really, really, really eclectic range. I'm excited. I'm very excited to be welcoming back George Melling, the old chap. He's come back to the show. I always love having George on the show. Kevin McGeary's here as well, who's a regular contributor now to What Are You Reading? Love the range of books that Kevin talks about. So excited for today. And very old friend of the show, Nancy Schumann, is joining us too. So we're going to kick off with George Melling, the old chap. George, what are you reading?
Hi, I am Kevin McGeary, author, translator and singer-songwriter, and today I'm going to talk about the Irish poet Denis O'Driscoll. O'Driscoll, who lived from 1954 to 2012, was described by Seamus Heaney as being beloved by his friends for his originality as a poet and his courage and merriment as a man. Although Heaney described Denis O'Driscoll as his hero, Heaney also said of O'Driscoll, modest to a fault, he would have shrugged off the word hero. And in a moment, I'm going to read his poem, Porlock, which for me is a poem about the creative writing process and the creative process in general. And it is right up there with Marge Piercy's short masterpiece, For the Young Who Want To, for capturing the difficulties of the creative process, but also what makes it so special and what makes it all somehow worth it sometimes. The poem Porlock. This is the best poem I have never written. It is composed of all the stunning lines I thought up, but lacked the time or place or paper to jot down. This is a poem of distractions, interruptions, clamoring telephones. This is a poem that reveals how incompatible with verse my life is. This is a home for mentally lapsed poems. This is the lost property office of poetry. This is my poem without a hero, conceived but never born. This is a prisoner of consciousness, a victim of intelligence leaks. This is the poem that cannot learn itself by heart. This is the poem that has not found its individual voice. This is the poem that has forgotten its own name. This is my most unmemorable creation. These are my most disposable lines. This is the poem that dispenses with words. So, I think there is a reason why Eileen Battersby described Denis O'Driscoll as being the lyrical equivalent of William Trevor, and a better poet by far than Raymond Carver. So I strongly recommend that you check out the work of Denis O'Driscoll. His collected poems, published by Carcanet, can be purchased online at most major platforms. Enjoy.